Ciscoe Morris, gardener extraordinaire, when he says to me, this is one of my all-time favorite plants, you listen right up. You hear me?
Oh, la la, for sure.
He's talking about the Hardy Fuchsia, and he's here to show us why it's his fave. And it's hardy. Like, whenever I see a fuchsia that's so beautiful, it's so delicate, I wouldn't think hardy.
No, you buy those ones that you hang up in the shade. Those you got to put in the garage or do something with them because they're going to freeze to death.
Okay.
These are all ones, and there's a whole lot of them that you can just leave out in the garden, and then in the spring you cut them down to about the ground, and they grow back beautiful and bloom like mad. You
know what's interesting is I didn't even know you could buy a fuchsia and put it in the ground. I thought they always lived in baskets.
That's funny.
Like that's how Mother Nature grew them in baskets. I don't know. I'd never realized you could, but I see here. So where do you put them? And when can you plant them now as we're coming into fall?
Well, this is probably the worst time to plant one.
In case you don't.
But this one, this is called rigatoni. This thing is so hard, it goes to 10 below zero.
The rigatoni goes to 10 below zero?
And you could put this guy right out in full sun, and it'll get 8 feet tall.
Oh, that's cool. Now, what is it called? The
let's see.
Rigatoni. I was close with the rigatoni. Rigatoni.
Rigatoni, that's it.
Just go to the nursery and say that plant that Ciscoe mentioned.
Yeah.
All right. So, what are your some of your favorites? The rigatoni.
I like that.
Did you take this
Look
from your?
Look at that! Isn't that spectacular?
Where'd you get it?
I bought it at nursery. Now this one I don't know the name because I stole it from a certain person's garden. Don't tell her.
I asked you where
I don't
you
want her
got
knowing
it.
anything about this.
Every time, every time. Okay, all right. So
that's Mrs. Popple.
Mrs. Popple, also known as Mrs. Mary.
Yeah.
Mrs. Popple. These are beautiful. These are my favorites.
Oh,
They're
isn't that beautiful?
They look like something out of a fairy tale.
Look at this guy. This is called Aztec.
So, what are some tricks to keeping them alive?
Well, you got to figure out how much sun to give them.
Okay.
Some like more than others. So this guy here, which I'm trying to remember the name of now.
This is beautiful, but look at the difference between the two.
Yeah, it's so different. This speciosum, if you put it in too much sun, it burns up. Yeah. So I just put it in morning sun, and then it just blooms away. But this big guy, these guys, they're in absolutely full sun.
They're in full sun.
I do give them fertilizer, and you got to give them water. So, keep
lots of water.
Them.
They like a lot of water.
Look at that. This
is amazing.
That's called Castile.
That's unbelievable. That looks literally like something out of a fairy tale.
The squirrels, when they see this bloom, they start crying. In my garden, I have to put out little tissues for them,
Wait.
So.
Why do you make the squirrels cry?
It's so beautiful.
It is, and I hope they don't eat them.
No, they never eat them. I've never, deer probably would eat this, but the rabbits never touch them in my garden.
But deer don't cry.
Yeah, deer don't cry. They munch.
They munch. Can you really keep these blooming for a while? I mean, I know you mentioned they're a summer plant, but I've heard that you can keep them through Thanksgiving sometimes.
Well, yeah. They start blooming usually in May. Now, these all froze right to the ground this year, and so I cut them way down. So they didn't start till about mid-May blooming, but they were still blooming after Thanksgiving last year.
Is it true also that hummingbirds love these plants specifically as well?
You have to wear a helmet when you go out and work on these plants. Oh, la la.
There's a lot going on between the squirrels crying, the hummingbirds attacking you. But I really can't get over how many varieties there are.
There are so many varieties, and the ones with the little leaves, that one's called aurum. It's yellow.
Okay.
And those are the hardiest. The ones with the little leaves are way hardier than these, and these are still hardy to freezing. So.
Okay. I am gonna go ahead and hope that you were just helping Mary by clipping back her plants today.
Seriously needed clipping back.
Okay, so do they get big? Do you have to clip them back a lot?
No, the only thing is, like this guy gets so big, this Aztec, that it covers some of my plants, so I'll cut them back a little bit. It doesn't care, and it just puts out new ones.
All right. So it's just, it loves that. Okay, I have one more question for you. Where did you get this mug? Did someone make this for you?
A woman made that for me that lives in Sequim.
Look at, he just
cool
casually placed that on my table. It says, ooh la la. That woman is awesome because this is a great mug.
That woman is awesome. She made herself one too. So we're the only 2 people on earth that have one of these.
You know what? I don't know, Ciscoe. We might have to work on it over here at New Day Northwest because that is a phenomenal mug. There are so many great things you can do with fuchsias. I'm glad to know more about them because they seem like an intimidating plant, but they're not.
They're not at all, and nurseries are getting better and better selections of Hardy Fuchsias.
Okay, go check it out. But speaking of intimidating, you better stop picking flowers out of Mary's garden.
Don't mention that.
Okay, all right. Thank you, Ciscoe.